Hi, this video is based on the arithmetic sequence, but I'm going to be focusing more on the challenging questions in the arithmetic sequence. So, the typical question in these types of examples would be when you're asked to find the value of p. Before you find the value of p, you need to first read the statement. We are told that this sequence is an arithmetic sequence. And we know that if its sequence is an arithmetic sequence, then the first difference is constant. D is constant. In other words, D doesn't change, it's the same. And using the idea that D is the same, we know that D is equal to T2 minus T1. And we also know that D has to also be equal to T3 minus T2. So this is the first thing you write when you've been told that you are dealing with an arithmetic sequence. So since D is equal to this expression here and D is also equal to this expression here, we can then equate both expressions such that we have T2 minus T1 is equal to T3 minus T2. We can then substitute these given expressions here respectively in their places. So T2 is going to be 2p plus 2 minus T1 is this first term here, p, and in T3 is this third term, 5p plus 3 minus T2 is this one here, 2p plus 2. Note that I used brackets because I want to be able to distribute the negative sign on both on 2p and also 2. So that's very important. If you don't put a bracket, you could end up getting this whole thing wrong. So that's something you should pay attention to. 2p minus p is going to become p, and then we're going to drop 2. And 5p plus 3. And then we're going to distribute this negative. Negative times by 2p is going to be negative 2p. Negative times by positive 2p is going to be negative 2. 5p minus 2p is going to be 3p. 3 minus 2 is going to be 1. So we will end up having p plus 2 is equal to 3p plus 1. We make sure that the variables are on one side and the constants are on one side. So let's do this. When 3p comes to the side, it becomes negative. We're going to drop 1. 2 comes to the side, it becomes negative as well. P minus 3p is negative 2p. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. We divide by negative 2 on both sides, and we get that p is equal to, should have said negative 2 here. We divide by negative 2 on both sides. So p is going to be 1 over 2. So that's the value of p. The second question would be to determine the sequence. So when determining the sequence, let's say this is number 1, 2. When determining the sequence, you would substitute with the value of p where there's p in this sequence. As a result, we would have something like this: 1 over 2, 2 times 1 over 2 plus 2, 5 times 1 over 2 plus 3. So this becomes 1 over 2. This is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. This is 5 over 2 multiplied by 2 over 2 here. We're going to have 6 over 2 plus 5. And that's going to be equal to 11 over 2. And that is the sequence. The next question could go like, or we could be asked to find the 49th term. The 49th term is T49. In order for us to find T49, we need to know the expression Tn, the general term. So Tn in general for an arithmetic sequence is equal to this. We know that A is equal to T1, and T1 is 1 over 2. That's term 1. So it's 1 over 2. We also know that D is term 1, is term 2 minus term 1, and is also equal to term 3 minus term 2. So we can just say D is equal to T2 over T1. T2 is 3 minus T1 is 1 over 2. The answer is 5 over 2. So we will have Tn is equal to 1 over 2 plus n minus 1 multiplied by 5 over 2. The general expression will end up looking something like 5 over 2n minus 2. And therefore, T49 is going to be 5 over 2 times by 49 minus 2. And the answer to that is going to be equal to 241 over 2, which is approximately equal to 120.5. This is the last video on arithmetic sequence. The next video will be based on the geometric sequences. I would like to have people subscribe on this channel to help it grow. It's still very new. I have very few subscribers,